Good afternoon. Welcome to Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. It's Friday. The chat's up and running. What are you guys up to today? I'm doing the same thing I did yesterday. I'm hunting from the weather. I'm indoors where it's 80 and no snow indoors. Outdoors, it's in the teens. I'm in Michigan. So, what's going on, people? Yesterday's show I thought was kind of a downer. I mean, it was all right. Ultra Kenny was in the chat, but I just felt like I was a little negative. Well, they can't all be good shows. Come on, let's be realistic. That's part of your proof that I'm not AI. So what do you guys got going on? I have no plans for the weekend. I did watch a new show last night, recommended by Ultra Kenny in the chat. Smiling Friends. I found it on HBO. Or HBO Max, I guess I should say. It was kind of a strange show, but I think if you're stoned enough, it could be entertaining. Well, that's my go-to for anime. Is I need to be pretty buzzed to watch it. All the good cartoons were years ago. Not too much else going on. I watched a little bit of news, saw that they arrested Don Lemon. The current Justice Department is losing so many cases. All of my life, I was told federal charges had a 99% conviction rate. Not so much with this current regime. Their numbers are falling, and I mean free falling. They are not winning 99% of their cases. I'm not sure they're winning 9% of their cases. Okay. These people, they've chased out all the good lawyers. All they got left now are the ambulance chasers, and they can't seem to buy a conviction. That's the way it appears to me. Well, if you look on the bright side, there is no bright side. Yeah, exactly. That's my opinion. There is no bright side to that. The law and order presidency cannot get a conviction in federal court. They are inept. Personal opinion. Feel free to jump in the chat. Afternoon chats Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The guest stars of the show are the people that are in the chat. They actually determine what this show's all about. I have no script. I have no agenda. The script and the agenda is turn the show over to the people in the chat and see what they want to talk about. What are your priorities? What's front and center on your mind? It's a free show. I do not want to put my thumb on the scales and say, oh, we have to talk about this or we have to talk about that. I don't care what we talk about. You want to talk about the speed limits in your town? Okay. I don't care. You guys are the guest stars. You guys are in control of the show. I know you've never had this before. It's my belief that the future is interactive TV. So if you've ever wanted to have a conversation with your television, golden opportunity right here. It's a free show. What do you want for $1.298? There's no midstream ad. There's no sponsor. I'm not trying to sell you anything. It's the opposite. I'm actually bending over backwards to make sure that I don't try to sell you anything. I'm not running for political office. I'm not trying to become an online influencer, and I'm not coming out with a line of merch. I don't care. My adult life I spent working in Las Vegas, specifically in the table games departments of the casinos. I got used to meeting a lot of people every week for 30 plus years. In my retirement, I missed meeting and talking to people. I've created the show so that I can continue to meet and talk to people from all over the world. I don't care what we talk about. When no one jumps in the chat, we're stuck with wherever my mind happens to wander on a given day. Sorry about that. I put no real restraints on myself other than the fact that we need to follow the community guidelines established by YouTube. It's the only platform we're on, so let's not piss them off. Okay. So what do you guys want to talk about? If you want to be able to chat, you need the Discord app from YouTube. It's free. Everything about this show is free. But if nobody jumps in the chat, we're at the whims of my imagination, whatever crosses my mind. I'm not trying to make everyone think the same way I do. I'm allowing everyone to have their own opinion. I'm not, I don't know, a dictator here. I'm a spectator. I have to talk about something, and if no one gets in the chat and changes the subject, well, I watched a little news this morning. Like, Don Lemon getting arrested for nothing. He's a journalist. Journalists go where the stories are. I think they're absurd. They're talking like he's trying to infringe on someone's rights, and he's not. He's just reporting. Well, hopefully this will help him in the long run. The case will get thrown out, obviously. But in the meantime, it's getting him some press. Well, I don't know. Maybe they'll come. Maybe the Trump administration will come and attack me next. I'd welcome their attack. It would put my show on the map. Thus far, it's only been seen by like 2,000 people. If they were to attack me and arrest me, maybe I'd get some of this free press. Then this show would get busy. It's Friday night. My real only plan is I'm probably going to watch Tom Grossi tonight. He does a Friday night Q&A. I don't really chat with a man, but I do, pop a beer and kick back and relax. I just think the guy's entertaining and funny. I challenge anybody to watch his show scripted. I'm telling you, the guy's funny. I have not seen all of his material. Well, it's like, Tragedy Tales. I watch Tragedy Tales, but I haven't seen all of his material either. So far this morning, I watched a little bit of Ben Meiselas and some TMZ. Well, Catherine O'Hara died. What a marvelous actress. Oh, she was in Schitt's Creek. If you haven't seen that show was hilarious. But I remember her in Home Alone. She was in Beetlejuice. She was in all kinds of stuff. Very talented woman. She had a huge career in my eyes, anyways. Well, unfortunately, people do pass away. The older you get, the more you realize that. Trust me. Well, every winter, I live in a senior complex. Every winter, at least 4 residents pass away. It is what it is. The lifespan of a human being is it's linear. It's got a beginning, a middle, and an end. But yeah, I enjoy a good movie from time to time, and I enjoy a good comedy from time to time. About the only thing I don't really watch anymore are horror shows. Well, some of these shows, they get out of hand with the violence. The ones that jump to mind were like Kill Bill and John Wick. Okay. Both a little too violent for my taste. I'd rather have some comedy. Something that can be, joyous or uplifting in some way. I like some dramas, but not many. I'm probably more of a comedy buff. The clean comedy. Well, the first comedian I fell in love with was that's too old for you guys. You guys wouldn't even know who I'm talking about. Red Skelton. He had a character, Freddy the Freeloader. I thought the guy was hilarious. Personal opinion. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat. Who was your first favorite comedian? I think it's a valid question. Yeah, I have no real plans for this evening. Have no real plans for this show. Fridays, generally, people jump in the chat. It's not required. I don't require anybody to do anything. YouTube does tell me I need to ask people to like and subscribe to the channel. Supposedly that will help the show out with the algorithm. As far as I know, I'm on 3 different algorithms on YouTube. One for live streaming, one for shorts, and one for videos. My videos aren't great. My shorts aren't great. My show's probably not great. It's only as great as the guest stars make it, I guess. I'm just a guy. And I screw up all the time. Look at yesterday's show, for example. It tanked. I think it only had 6 views, right? Well, it is what it is, right? Yeah, I smoke cigarettes and pot. I don't recommend you do either. That's your proof that I'm not AI. AI don't smoke. Well, it is what it is. I have to be perfect just because I have a TV show? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm probably going to do pork chops for dinner. I'll probably have rice tonight. I like to fry pork chops up in butter. It's what my mother used to do when I was a kid. They get that caramelized flavor on the outside. I love that. Well, when I was grocery shopping on Tuesday, I bought a pack of 6. I ate 3 last night, and I'm probably going to have the other 3 tonight. Not the thick pork chops, the thin ones. I know. That's what I need is a pork chop channel. It doesn't matter to me what we talk about. The fact that I'm sitting here talking about pork chops is probably because I'm hungry. I had a hunk of cheese for lunch is all. I thought about having peanuts, but I didn't. I just had cheese. My idea of a good lunch is not dirtying dishes. It's the chore I despise the most. I'm a big paper plate guy. Real big. Yeah, I got stuff for a salad. I'll probably have pork chops, rice, and a salad tonight. What do you got planned for dinner? Anything? Yeah, I'm just going to put it in cruise control, autopilot today. I don't want to go down any huge rabbit holes. I was after ice most of the week, so I'm bored with that now. I'll stay good with my prediction. Sometime after the show, in the next 24 hours, I fully expect United States to attack Iran. Well, the fact that they released 3 million documents from the Epstein files today, that just kind of seals the deal. They're going to let this news narrative stew for a few hours, and then they're going to bomb somebody to change the storyline of the news. They're going to attack Iran, is my belief, on Saturday. They're going to bomb the piss out of them again. Well, if you watch the Enforcer channel on YouTube, that's where I get most of my war news. A couple of young guys out of Utah now, brothers, Andrew and Matthew. They glean all of social media and then present video evidence of what they're talking about. I like this show. Ouch. I just set myself on fire. That's a bright thing to do. Well, I roll my own cigarettes, and some days I don't do a good job. What can I tell you? All the cool guys set themselves on fire. You know that. Accidentally, of course. Not on purpose. So, what's on your mind? What do you guys want to talk about? I watched Cross Timbers Bison this morning. I just love that show. Guys raising American bison, wild animals, not domesticated, not by a long shot. I've been watching him for Dusty Baker is the guy's name. I've been watching him for over a year now. Guy's got like 289 acres in southern Oklahoma. I find it very entertaining. Definitely a young man's game, not an old man's game. Well, the smaller the female bison, they weigh 1,000 pounds. And they're wild. You got to be nuts to get into a pasture with them. Okay. Who knows what they're thinking? They might trample you just because you're in the way. I spent a lot of my life hunting and fishing outdoors with nature. And I don't know, maybe in a former life I was a rancher or a farmer or something like that. It's not what I did for a living. I was in table games in Vegas. So I was indoors in the air conditioning. Okay. But maybe in a former life, who knows? Do you believe in former lives? I'm not sure I do. Yeah, I'm drinking my Gatorade, being a good boy. The older you get, the more you listen to your doctor. When I was young, I never went. So now when I go, I do listen. So what's on your mind? What do you guys want to discuss? Oh, yeah, they just started coming out with bad economic numbers. It's ridiculous. Crumbleina was over last night. We went through my grocery receipt. It was not pretty. Well, I'm clipping coupons now. I did save $21. Okay. Crumbleina gave me kudos. Normally, I didn't pay attention to coupons, but now financially, I have to. Okay. Well, it's because the price of everything is doubling. Some of the simplest things they're charging outrageous amounts of money for. Well, part of it is tariffs. Another part is, corporate greed. Our food supply is definitely got corporate greed written all over it. Kind of like the healthcare. It's just so out of whack, it doesn't make any sense. Well, if you're in the hospital and and they give you 2 aspirin, they're going to charge you $250. That kind of out of line. It's getting the same way in the food industry. Have you seen the price of beef lately? My I bought a pound of hamburger this week, cost me $8.31 for 1 pound. I got 2 meals out of it, but I'm only cooking for me. I don't have kids around to cook for anymore. My kids are grown and gone. They still live in Vegas. I'm in Michigan. I was thinking about doing an AI video, and I discussed it with my son, and he talked me out of it. I run things by my kids nowadays. Well, I consider them to be smarter than I am, especially when it comes to social media. I'm oblivious to so much stuff. Well, I refuse to get on X and Truth Social and all these garbage platforms. That's what I call them. I watch mostly YouTube, and I if I'm going to chat, I do it on YouTube. I really only chat with Mike Kimber. He's the does the Lions. I talk to him once in a while, maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, something like that. He puts out content twice a day, I think. Little 12-minute videos, just explaining what the Lions are doing with their coaching moves and player acquisitions and that stuff. I enjoy watching the Lions. They're much better now than they were in years past. Well, I think it's due to the Ford ownership. They've got, a decent GM. They got a decent coach. And it seems like they're trying to actually win for a change. That's the way it appears, anyways. I could be wrong. For many years, it's like the Lions just wanted to be mediocre at best. That's the way it appeared. All those years with Barry Sanders as a running back, you would have thought they'd went out and picked up a good quarterback. I mean, they had Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders and couldn't win squat. Makes no sense. I think it has to do with market size and the amount of money they're willing to invest in the team. But I don't get into the financial end of billion-dollar businesses. I don't, I'm just a fan. I like Jared Goff. I like the offense that the Lions have. Their defense needs some help. Well, for the last 2 seasons, they've had more players injured than they had on the field, I think. Okay. So, what do you guys want to talk about today? Well, Monday, I'll be talking about the attack on Iran, probably. Or lack thereof. I could be wrong. I just think that, the fact that they dumped some Epstein documents means that they're going to try to change the news narrative within 24 hours. Easiest way for them to do that is to bomb the shit out of some foreign country. And then, they'll send all their lackeys out to the Sunday morning propaganda networks. That's what they are. It's not news anymore. Those are propaganda networks. This This whole Epstein debacle is just sickening. By law, they were required to release all of this information on December 19th of last year. What's today, the 30th of January? They still haven't released it all. They don't pay any attention to the law. They think they're above it. They don't want you and I to know that they're the pedophiles. The people they're protecting are not the victims. They're protecting the clients. Okay. Personal opinion, Epstein was nothing more than a pimp. Well, who paid the pimp? That's who they're protecting. Okay. Why aren't you seeing Epstein's banking records and seeing the names of all the people that were giving him money? Pimps don't give women away for free. At least no pimp I ever met. Sorry, but the last I heard, they had a complaint from a girl that said when she was 13, she was forced to blow Trump. Poor kid. Well, this is the kind of stuff that these people do. The rich, the top 1%, the oligarchy of America, they're all some sick puppies. They don't have the same morals or ethics that you and I have. They have an appetite and a tendency for deviant behavior. That's the way it appears. They should have released all these papers years ago. They should have prosecuted all these rich assholes, in my opinion. Both Democrats and Republicans could have released these files years ago. They could have prosecuted all these people years ago, and they chose not to do it. They made a conscious choice, and it's an inferior choice. And now they're building a ballroom. Yeah. 90,000 square feet. Well, they didn't like the east wing of the White House, so they destroyed it. I say they because, Congress has oversight on the president, and they're not exercising their power. That's why I say vote them all out of office, every one of them. Democrats and Republicans. If they're holding office, vote them out. They're dysfunctional. Well, proof is midnight tonight. Okay. At midnight tonight, they're going to shut the government down again. That's our proof that they cannot function. A functioning government doesn't shut down, okay? A functioning government would be actually doing something. These guys are not. So I say vote them all out of office. No more incumbents. Just get a fresh, a whole fresh load of people in there. It is not to your advantage to have the same senator for 30 friggin' years. The guy was bought off in year 2 of his career. Okay. Plain and simple. The United States government can respond to bribery or blackmail. You pick. They're not representing their voters. That's evident because they're not fixing anything for their voters. They're buttering up their cronies, their buddies, cutting their taxes, but they're adding taxes onto us. That's what these tariffs are all about. It's just a hidden tax on you, the hardworking American. Okay. It's absurd to think that it's in your favor. Businesses do not sacrifice their profits ever. They not only maintain their profits, they increase their profits year after year. That's how corporations work. If the CEO is taking it in the shorts, he's not going to be the CEO. He's going to get fired. He has to make more money this year than he made last year, or he's gone. They are not assuming the cost of these tariffs. They're simply marking up the prices and passing it on to the consumer. The bottom guy on the totem pole, that's where all the shit rolls, is downhill. I don't care what you're buying now. Everything that you buy, corporate America is making a profit on. It's what they do. As soon as the stock market closes today, they're going to bomb Iran, change the news cycle. By Monday, they'll all be talking about regime change in Iran. It's ridiculous. They got to pretend regime change everywhere you look. It's just to distract from the Epstein files. It's what all of this is. Look at this shiny object I'm holding up. I don't want you to see what I'm actually doing. What they're actually doing is obscene. They're attacking your American wallet with their tariffs. They're attacking the American protester on the streets with ICE, trying to incite civil war so that they can not hold the elections this year. They don't want the midterms and they don't want the presidential in 2028. They'd like to cancel them and tell you that it's all your fault. Okay, they're blaming you guys for everything. It's like the people that ICE shot. They're blaming them, the people that got shot, the victims of the crime. ICE is the aggressor. ICE is the one using the weapons. ICE is the one wearing masks. They are not the victims. ICE are the bad guys. The politicians that are allowing this to go on are not representing you. They're representing the corporations that you work for. The corporations that you work for are paying the bribes to the politicians, and they get what they want. You never get what you want. That's how it works. The only good thing about all these ICE guys is they haven't transferred them over to the FBI yet. They're getting ready to. They're going to transfer all the ICE and Border Protection agents, their private army, over to the FBI so that they can crack down on you guys. Well, you're so out of line. Thinking you get to keep your own money and have your own freedoms. How absurd is that? No, these guys, it's all about self-enrichment. Self-enrichment, it's all they care about. You can bribe them. I don't know what the minimum bribe is, but I know that they are bribable. I'm not bribing anyone. Sorry. Doesn't interest me in the least. Any guy that you can bribe can be bribed to turn on you. Okay. They don't have the ethics and the morals that we have. They can't operate the way we do. They have no morals. They have no ethics. All they have is greed. That's my opinion. I mean, feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. I could be wrong. I make mistakes all the time. You never know. Hey, I voted for Ronald Reagan. I thought trickle-down economics was going to work. I did. Well, it did work in a sense. They basically pissed all over us. Okay. Something trickled down. It just wasn't what you wanted. Wasn't what I wanted. Oh, these guys are the scum of the earth. I swear. They really are. In my opinion. From where I see, none of these politicians are viable. None of them are worth anything. They have no value at all. They wouldn't allow ICE to be shooting people on the street. Why does ICE even carry guns? I don't see them getting in a firefight, but yet they're all in full battle gear. They're the only ones that are shooting. They're firing the pepper spray. They're throwing the flashbangs. They're using the tear gas. They're the ones that are shooting their guns. No one else. Have you seen someone attack ICE? I have not. I don't even see people defending themselves against ICE. I see them trying to flee, getting tackled, and getting killed. Or getting locked up and shipped out of the country without any due process. Due process in America has worked for 250 years. And now all of a sudden, we don't need it? Explain that to me. If you want to talk immigration, we can. But you're not going to like it because Congress has not changed the immigration laws in years. They have not kept up with the times. If you want to talk immigration, the first thing we got to discuss is the birth rate in America. American babies, there are less being born each year. We need more babies. Babies that can grow up and become the taxpayers of the future. When there's not enough babies, eventually there's not enough taxpayers. Plain and simple. Each generation needs to have its own children. Those children need to be educated, enter the workforce, and shoulder the burden of taxation in America. If you don't have enough children, eventually you don't have enough taxpayers. If you don't have enough taxpayers, taxes don't get paid. If the taxes don't get paid, the government crumbles. We need more babies. Plain and simple. If we don't get more babies, it's a matter of time before we don't have anyone available to pay the taxes. All of us have paid taxes throughout our life. That's what keeps the government afloat. If you run out of people to pay taxes, you're not going to have a government anymore. We need legal immigration. We need people to come in to the United States to live and work and pay taxes. What we should be doing is when these people legally immigrate into this country, we should be saying, by the way, it's not required, but if you could have children, that would be to our advantage. It would give you a vested interest into staying in the United States. A vested interest. It would be immoral to force the immigrants to have children, but we could ask. That would not be immoral, in my opinion. 340 million people in this country. So how many immigrants, how many legal immigrants should we allow in this country per year? That's the laws that Congress has not kept up to date with. They haven't enacted laws that say we want this many people per year legally to immigrate into the United States. Keep in mind, the more people in the United States, the more diverse and the stronger the United States is. Diversity is not a bad thing. The current administration's attack on diversity is a bad thing. They're attacking diversity because the white people are afraid of becoming a minority. The white people are afraid of becoming the minority because they have spent their lives being mean to minorities. They've taught the other races how to be mean to them. Yeah, it's come full circle. Years ago, I took a diversity class, and they explained that at that time they were projecting that by 2030, the white population in America would become a minority. When they released these facts, it scared the hell out of the white people. The white people said, we got to put an end to this diversity, and we got to put an end to all these non-white people immigrating into the United States. They want to keep America white. It's the truth. Their insecurities are why they are attacking other people. They're afraid of them. The white people mistreated the black people. They mistreated the brown people. They mistreated the Asian community. They mistreated all minorities throughout history. It's what they do. They think the white race is superior. It's their own insecurities that have forced them to attack minorities throughout history. That's my opinion. That's the way I've seen it. due to our low birth rate in America, we need more immigrants so that we can keep our birth rate up. This inclusion, by letting these people into America, is how America will eventually dominate the world. If you let them come in and we grow, we will succeed. If you don't let them come in and we don't grow, we will not succeed. You've seen Trump saying, oh, he wants to annex Canada. He wants to own Greenland. He's got a decent idea. Expand our territory, expand our reach, expand our population. But he's going about it the wrong way. He thinks it's nice to go in there as a strong man and threaten them. Should go the other way. You should tell all of these foreign countries, would you like to join the United States? Would you like to become a state? If you're interested, here's our Constitution. This is how it works. We can put your country on a 50 or 100 year path to statehood. Maybe some other country that is struggling but has something that it could contribute, be it their natural resources, their population, offer them a path to citizenship. The same thing we could do with the people that are living in the United States illegally. Offer them a long-term path to belonging, becoming part of the group. But in order to do that, you'd have to get past your prejudice. You'd have to get past your notion of thinking that the white race is superior. You'd have to understand that there is no white race. There is no black race. There is no brown race. There is one human race. That's the way I see it. The way I see it, if America would allow some of these other countries to adopt our democracy, to put themselves on a path 50 years, 100 years to statehood, America could grow exponentially. But these people that are in power, they don't want to let anyone else in America. They want America to be an exclusive club. No, you can't get into America. You're not good enough. That's what they want. They want white rule, white dominance. They don't want American rule. They don't want American dominance. It's like the same thing they're pushing with religion. We live in a country where religion is welcome. Not just one religion, but all religions. But that's not good enough for these people. They want Christian only. They want Christian rule. That is not what our Constitution says. Our Constitution says you can have any religion you want, but you can't use your religion to govern. You cannot put your religion in our government. The reason they did that is because of what religion has historically done on planet Earth when it got control of a country. They become extremists. That's what happened in Iran. Their religion got control of their government. If the religion gets control of the government, they become warmongers. They become extremists. They take it to the umpteenth level quickly. This is what happened in Iran. And now the Iranian women can't show their face in public. They don't have the right to an education. They don't have a right to vote. They don't have the rights to anything. They've been deemed inferior by their religion. The religious zealots always go too far. They always get out of control. Historically, throughout the globe, the religion is not the way to go. It's okay as long as it's not in government. If your religion is controlling your government, the first thing they do is outlaw all other religions. And then they become abusive. If you want to expand America, offer a path to citizenship. If you want to see America grow and eventually dominate the entire globe, then you've got to allow people in. It's not an exclusive club. If you want an exclusive club, your birth rate is dropping out of the basement. You're not going to be able to sustain. These are not long-term thinkers. The people that want this are afraid of other religions. They're afraid of people with a different color skin. They have uncontrolled fears. When your fear is uncontrolled, you cannot use rational thought. Rational thought is tossed out the window. When fear is in control, you're not in control. America needs to be inclusive, and we need to educate. The more we educate our population, the better off our standing in the world. They are currently in the United States destroying the Department of Education. Instead of trying to get it up to a 16-year average, they want to reduce it to a 6-year average. They want to stop with grade school. They don't want high school. They definitely don't want college. That should only be for the rich. It is the human race devolving. It is falling apart because it's unsustainable. The truth is, the human race needs people of every color. We need every bloodline. And we need to educate every child. Every time we don't, the human race is shooting itself in the foot. They're delaying our success. I don't care what task you're trying to perform. I don't care what goal you've set. The quickest and best solution is to get more human beings. The more human beings you have on your team, the lighter your workload and the quicker you succeed, the faster you attain all your goals. If you're not being successful in doing something, get a human being to help you. You will lighten your own workload, and you will speed up achieving your goals. One guy goes to build a skyscraper, it could take him 20, 30 years. If 1,000 people go to build a skyscraper, they could probably get it done in a year. They want you to think that you need more money to accomplish your task. That's not the truth. You just simply need more humans, more people. If you want to get elected to public office, what do you need? More people on your side. This channel. If I want this channel to succeed, what do I need? More people. If I get more people on my team, I lighten my workload and I achieve my success sooner. So this channel will always be inclusive. It's not an exclusive club. I'm not going to be pushing people out. Even the people that disagree with me are going to be welcome here. If you want more people on your team, you must become tolerant. Tolerance of your fellow human being. Human beings all have common ground. We all love our parents and our family. We all want to succeed, and we want the generations behind us to succeed. We're all striving for similar goals. We want success. At the same time that we all have this common ground and these values and things that we all share in common, at the same time, we are all unique individuals. I can guarantee you, you have never met anyone like me. I am unique. The path I've chosen with my life is unique. I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. I cut my own path. You need to be tolerant of your fellow man. It doesn't matter that you're different. If you decide to work together, you can achieve more quicker. Tolerance of your fellow man is not too much to ask. You can be tolerant of a man and still disagree with a man. You can be tolerant of a man and dislike that same man. You need to grow up and get past your intolerance. If I want you on my team, I have to be tolerant of you. If you want to be on my team, you must be tolerant of me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. I was telling a story the other day about a job I had. The position above me had come vacant. I was up for that position, and management decided to hire from outside to fill that position. When they did that, the guy they hired, soon as he got there, he saw I was capable of doing his job. Made him feel insecure. He didn't like me, so he started to lash out. Tried to make me quit my job. Tried to find cause to fire me from my job. Couldn't find any cause to fire me, and he couldn't get me to quit. Quitting that job was not my plan. My bills were due. I needed that job. I didn't have a new job lined up. He made my life hell, or tried to. But it would have financially destroyed me if I'd quit my job and didn't have another job lined up. I had to tolerate him. Some days it was not easy, but I had to tolerate him to achieve my goals. Tolerance of your fellow man is the only thing that's required for you to be successful. If you can't tolerate your fellow man, you're going to be working alone, because everyone is different We're all unique individuals. If you and I start a business, we're not going to let anyone else join our business. It's just going to be you and I. 5 years down the road, you get hit by a bus. My workload just doubled. I'm in trouble. The business is now in trouble. 50% of our workforce is laying in a hospital bed. I need help. I need help fast. I better be tolerant. I better get some new people in there or that business is going to go belly up. I better get tolerant in a real hurry. We need, as human beings, to be tolerant of one another. Thinking that your race is better than another race, thinking that your age is better than another age, thinking that your appearance is better than another appearance is detrimental. It's not going to build anything. Be tolerant to your fellow man, and there's no limit to what you can build. Walmart. Take a look at Walmart. It's a big corporation, right? One of the things that makes them successful is the number of human beings they have working for them. Take away their human beings and they're not going to be successful, even though they're monstrous in size. If there's no one working in their store, then you can't go in their store and buy anything, can you? It's dependent on the number of employees. When they don't have enough employees, they're in trouble. The way they get all their employees is they must be tolerant. I got 7 positions to fill. I'd prefer to hire people with college education for those 7 positions. But if the people with the college education aren't in this area, I've got to put a body in those 7 spots. I've got to be tolerant and fill those positions. Tolerance. Your key to success. I don't care what you're trying to do. Doesn't matter. If you're making pot holders and you want to be successful, hire more people. If you're making locomotives and you want to be successful, hire more people. The more people you get on the team, the lighter your workload and the quicker you achieve all your goals. I didn't make this up. This is life. It's a successful formula. It works. I don't care what your problem is. I don't care what you're trying to achieve. If you get more people on your team, you're going to succeed. Look at it like college football. You got a small school. They put together a football team, but they've only got 50 guys. Now you take a big school like Michigan, and they've got 200 guys on their team. Who's going to win the game? Who's going to succeed? The one with more people. That's the way it works. I didn't invent it, but I can sure as hell recognize the formula. I can sure in hell use common sense to sort this out and say, I need more people on my team. The more people I get on my team, the lighter my workload and the faster I succeed. It's America against the rest of the world. What do we need? More people on our team. You're not going to get people on your team by tariffing. You're not going to get people on your team by threatening. How are you going to get people on your team? Be tolerant. It's okay if you don't speak the same language. It's okay if you don't wear the same clothes. It's okay if you don't have the same hairstyle. Be tolerant of your fellow human being and you will succeed. Be intolerant of your fellow human being and you will be alone. And your life will be a struggle. I depend on every human being in this globe, in this planet. I buy coffee that came from Brazil. I need that Brazilian farmer to plant those coffee beans. Without it, I lose quality of life. I need to go gas up my car. Oh, looks like I'm depending on the guy that's working on the oil rig. I'm dependent on the guy that's working in the refinery. I'm depending on the truck driver that delivered it to my local gas station. And I'm depending on the guy at the gas station to open today. I don't know any of these guys' names, but I'm dependent on them. My quality of life depends on that. Go over and hit your light switch. Does the light come on? Do you know all the people who worked at the power company? Evidently, they're on your team because your power works. Don't hate that man just because you don't know him. You're relying on him every day to go in and do his job. You can't go to a restaurant that doesn't have a cook. No quality of life there. You're depending on that cook, that waitress, that restaurant owner. You're depending on them. You don't know who the hell they are. You got quality of life. You can go out to a restaurant. If you live 50 miles from your nearest neighbor, where can you go out to dinner? If you're alone, 50 miles from your nearest neighbor, you're not going to have electricity when you flip that switch. You're not going to have running water. You're not going to be able to walk across the street and go to the gas station. They're not there. You're on your own. You're alone. You think you can get by without depending on people? Go to a small town. You go to a small town with a population of 200 people. What happens when the only barber in town closes his doors? He's sick today. You can't get a haircut. You may have planned to get a haircut, but you can't. Barber's sick. Didn't open today. You live in a big city. How many places can you go and get your haircut? 1,000? All of that, depending on your fellow man, is where your quality of life comes in. You can walk out your front door. You can go run your errands. You can do the things that you have to do. You can do the things that you need to do. You can do the things that you want to do because of your fellow human being. He's on the job every day. You can rely on it. You can bank on it. That's the advantage of living in a large town, is you have more options. You have more things that you can go and do. If you live in Podunk, America, and you got one movie theater and they're showing one movie, what are your entertainment options? If you're in New York City and you want to go see a movie, you've got a lot of options, and every one of them damn theaters is going to be open every day. Convenient. You're depending on all these people. You don't know who the hell they are, but they make your life much more enjoyable. They make your life easier. We're all codependent on one another. I need that farmer in Brazil. I need that guy in China making that plastic doohickey that goes in my whatchamacallit. I need him. I'm relying on him. Thank God he goes in and does his job every day, just like we all go in and do our job every day. Human beings that don't go to work don't survive. I don't care if you're living in a grass shack in Somalia. If you don't go to work, you don't survive. We all go to work. Every human being in every country on this planet gets up and goes to work every day. You can depend on it. You do depend on it. You just take them for granted. Every product that you see that is man-made, every single product, every car, every road, every light signal, every street light, every house, this is all your proof, your bona fide evidence that the human beings before you put their differences aside and tolerated one another so that they could work together to build all these great things. Great things that without which your life would be hard. Even miserable. If you live in the middle of nowhere and you don't have any neighbors, you don't have electricity, you don't have water, you've got to get up and go catch your food. There is no grocery store. You've got to get that food, and then you've got to butcher it, you got to clean it, you got to cook it, You got to eat it, and then you got to clean up the mess you made. Your life is very, very difficult. My life, I can just drive through the drive-through and say, give me a quarter pounder with cheese, please. I didn't have to go hunting. I didn't have to butcher. Didn't have to grow vegetables. I didn't have to do anything. My life was easy and convenient because of my fellow human being. So the next time you turn on your TV and they're telling you that guy over there's the bad guy, bullshit. That guy over there has been going to work every day, and you can depend on him going to work every day. You probably do depend on him. You just don't know who the hell he is. The people you see on TV that are telling you to hate one another, to fight with one another, these people are not your friends. I'm sorry, but look for a guy that's telling you to tolerate one another. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like me. But if you can tolerate me, we can work together and we can build something together. We can succeed. We cannot just survive, but we can thrive together. Separately, life is harder. It's more difficult. But together, we can accomplish a hell of a lot. Tolerance for your fellow man is all it takes. You don't have to like him. You don't have to agree with him. But when you turn on TV and your politicians or your newscaster are pointing at another human being and saying, there's your enemy, that person that's doing the pointing is not your friend. I'll point at him and I'll tell you, there's the guy you must tolerate. Not hate, tolerate. Hating him gets you nothing. There's no prize. There's no reward. What do you get for hating? You show me a prize, maybe I'll want to go for it. Maybe you can talk me into it. What do you get for hating? What's your reward? Can't think of one? Me either. What's your reward for anger? What do you get for your anger? No prize for that either. You turn on your TV, you're telling, there's people on your TV telling you, you better get angry. You better get mad. Why? Your anger builds nothing. Your hatred builds nothing. You want to build something? Get tolerant. Grow up. Get past your differences with your fellow man. That's my belief. That's the way I see it. Feel free to jump in the chat and disagree. I'll hear you out. Explain it to me. Educate me. Please. I welcome your thoughts. That's why the chat is active. If I just wanted to sit here and preach at people, I wouldn't activate the chat. You got to understand, anyone that's telling you to hate another man is not your friend. When Donald Trump tells you he can't work with the Democrats, no, you can work with the Democrats. You choose not to work with the Democrats. There's a difference. Donald Trump chooses to not be tolerant by choice. His choice. Be tolerant, be understanding, be patient, be all the things that we value as human beings. And hatred and anger are not in there. You get no prize for hating me. There's no reward. You can hate me if you want. You can blame me for everything if you want. But it'll get you nothing. You'll achieve nothing. You'll build nothing. Look around the whole globe. Show me one thing that was built with hate. Show me one thing that was built with anger. And then I'll show you everything that is built with tolerance. Tolerance of your fellow man. That's all you need. You don't have to agree with him. You don't have to like him. You don't have to live with him. But you need to tolerate them if you wish to succeed. If you wish to achieve all your goals, become tolerant. Grow up. That's my opinion. What's yours? You want to succeed? You want to achieve? You want help. If you don't get any help, you're going to be working much harder, much longer to achieve what you could have achieved just by being tolerant. People are different than each other. We are not carbon copies of one another. Get past those differences. People that do not speak the same language can work together. They can play together. They can function if they are tolerant. When you're not tolerant, you're barricading yourself from the world. When you're not tolerant, you are shooting your own project right in the foot. I don't care what you're trying to do. Your fellow human being can lighten your workload and speed up your success. I'm sorry I'm the only one on TV telling you this. I wish there were others. I really, truly do. I wish I didn't feel it necessary to be on TV telling you to be tolerant of your fellow human. But I think it's necessary. I don't see anyone else doing it. But I'm telling you, if you want to succeed and you want to achieve your goals, get human beings to help you. You will lighten your workload and achieve all your goals faster. you can build bigger and better things. I didn't invent that formula, but I sure as hell can recognize it. And I'm telling you, if you're a Democrat, do not ostracize your Republican counterpart. Be tolerant. Vice versa, if you're a Republican, do not piss off the Democrat. Be tolerant. Work together and accomplish great things. Work separately and you slow your progress and you increase your workload. Plain and simple. The show's called Afternoon Chat. I'm your host, Ghost Mostly. Monday through Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A free show where your opinion matters. Get in the chat. We can discuss anything you want to discuss. There's no agenda. There's no script. I invented this show and I'm winging it every day. 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. Winging it. I don't care what we talk about. I don't have an agenda. I don't have all the answers. I am not Socrates or Plato. I'm just a guy sitting on one end of his couch. I can talk about my life experience, what I see from my perspective, my point of view. I share that with you openly for free. I'm not trying to sell you anything. You'll find no midstream ads. You'll find no sponsors. You'll find no commercials of any kind. Not on this channel. I do need to ask people to like and subscribe. Supposedly that helps YouTube in some way. It's free. And I'm telling you, don't hate. Tolerate. That's all you got to do. You don't have to agree with everyone else. But can we just get along with one another? You don't have to be best friends, but you can get along. It's interesting. It's 2026. Life is interesting. Life is hard. Life can be scary. I prefer to talk to other people, to communicate, to learn. I believe that the future is possible, even though it may not be probable. It is possible if we all can get along, work together. It's my belief that you need to be nice to everybody all of the time. At least be civil. If you watch the news in America, they're telling you to dislike one another. They're telling you to hate one another. They're telling you to fight one another. That's not the solution. That's the problem. You don't have to compromise your values, your core values. You don't have to compromise your morals. You don't have to compromise your ethics. All you have to do, if you wish to succeed, is tolerate. I guarantee you, throughout this weekend, you're going to turn on TV and they're going to tell you who you got to hate, who you got to dislike, who you can't trust. That's not what you need to hear. Those people are not your friends. They are trying to divide you up into subcategories. There is one human race on this planet. Only one. The bears, the coyotes, the rabbits aren't going to fix the problems on this planet. The dogs and cats aren't going to fix the problems on this planet. The only ones that can fix the problems on this planet are the human beings. And all we have to do is tolerate one another. That's all it takes. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to hang out together. All we need to do is tolerate one another. Allow me to be different from you, and I'll allow you to be different from me. It's not my place to nitpick you and tell you how to live your life. It's not your place to nitpick me and tell me how to live my life. All we're required to do to succeed is tolerate one another. If we can learn to tolerate one another, we can work together. If we can work together, we can build good things, great things, bigger and better things. But if we can't tolerate one another, our individual workload is harder, it's heavier. We have more stress, we have more strain, more burden. You want to lessen your burden? Get some people to help you. You don't have to force them. You don't have to threaten them. You have to tolerate them. Friday's show went fast. Nobody chatted. That's okay. It'll all work out in the end, I believe. But I'm telling you, the show's here for you as much as it is for me. Feel free to jump in here and speak your mind. As long as we're following the community guidelines that YouTube has established, we're golden. The only thing you can do wrong in here is not have a good time. Hopefully, the tolerance that I'm talking about will start catching on soon. Hopefully, other people on other shows will start talking about it. Hopefully, the human race will make it. Right now, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. We are slowing our own progress because we cannot work together. We cannot tolerate one another. And it's a crying shame. Imagine how peaceful this whole globe could be if we just stopped hating. We just stopped lashing out in anger. I'm Ghost mostly. Hope you enjoyed today's show. I do appreciate all my viewers. I really do. Like and subscribe if you can. If you can't, don't worry about it. I'll be all right. Okay. I don't ask you to do that for me. I ask you to do that for YouTube. I would like to get my channel monetized, but it'll happen eventually. Don't sweat it. Stress is killing people all over the planet. The last thing I want to do is pump more stress on you. Okay? I understand. I've been around a few years. Afternoon Chat is an inclusive channel. It's not an exclusive club. All people are welcome. You may participate. You can just listen. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want, it's fine with me. The only thing you can do wrong is hate. The easiest thing to do, the right thing to do every time is to tolerate. Thank you guys for your time. I'll be back on Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're welcome then. Thank you. Have a good, safe weekend. It's my belief that if you're nice to everyone all of the time, all of that niceness, all of that kindness will come back to you tenfold. That said, have a good weekend. I'll see you later.